Standing up for education rights were Mae Bertha Carter and her children.
I have never anywhere in my life seen anybody as courageous as the local people. I want to say that about the Mae Bertha Carters of the world because they were the ones who were there without resources when somebody could come in the night and get them.
In rural Sunflower County, Mae Bertha Carter's family was the first to attempt desegregation. This sharecropper and mother of 13 didn't know she was sending her 7 school-age kids into battle.
I was born 74 years ago. My mother and my father, they were sharecroppers. And my grandparents were sharecroppers. As far as I can go back, my family was sharecroppers, uneducated. And when I had my children, I was going to see that they never be sharecroppers all their lives. I would try to give our children the best education that we could get for them.
The U.S. Civil Rights Act of 1964 called for the desegregation of all public schools receiving federal funds. To comply with the new mandates, Southern states, including Mississippi, adopted what was called freedom of choice.
65 or 66 is when the freedom of choice papers came out for us to choose which school we wanted to go to. And we were just so excited. We knew this is really going to be excited because we had been seeing their buses and we had been comparing their buses to our buses, and we were saying, we're going to get to ride on a brand new shiny bus and we're going to be at a nice school.
So the daddy and everybody agreed that we was going to go to take this freedom of choice and go to the white school.
The new policy was intentionally deceptive.
So we signed those papers. And we got up the next morning, got in this old pickup truck we had, and came on out here to Drew. And we went in and we laid these phones on the table. Principal looked at them, and the man began to look red. And he never said a word. And early the next morning, we found out why it was turning red. They didn't really mean it. That was just a joke. They thought they knew black people. You know, white folks in Mississippi, they think they know black people. And so they knew that we were depending on them, and they knew that black people wasn't going to make that choice. And so here come the overseer out 8 o'clock in the morning. And he began to tell my husband he was shocked. He heard that we had gone out to this white school and had enrolled our children in there. And he wanted to go out there with my husband and have our children withdrawn out of the school. But I said, look, you go out there and you tell that man that I blessed my children, I bear the pain for them. He couldn't tell me what school to send my children to. And I'd be a fool trying to tell him what school to send his children to. At 3 o'clock in the morning, we heard the shots. And the shots was going just like popcorn popping. Pop, 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 pop. And my husband said, oh, they shooting out there. I jumped out the bed and I ran to the bed while my children were sleeping. And I shook them. They were still asleep. We were determined that they would not make us go out and withdraw our children out of the school. The morning they went into school, we looked out and we saw this pretty bright school bus coming.
That first day we found out that we were going to be the only ones there. I was the only one in my class. Pearl was the only one in her class, and it was 7 of us, and we was just 7 black kids in an all-white school. It was shocking to go to a classroom and then sit down, and then everybody pushed their desk to the side and say, I don't want to sit beside you, or you're not going to sit there, are you? We didn't think they were going to be hostile the way they were, so that was a surprise.
Every time I get up to do something, I find myself back on the bed, praying, until my children came home. I went out on the porch when I saw the bus coming, and I count my children, one by one, as they got off the school bus.
And that's when the reality really began to set in that we're not wanted here, you're not supposed to be here. And we were told that over and over again.
And then they began to tell me about all the name nigger calling, all the spitballs, all the yelling and everything.
Mama, can you believe this? This is the way they treated us. And we were surprised that it was like that, because we actually thought that we would have some friends.
It was hard. And in fact, my children said they didn't tell me everything.
Mama would talk to us every night and say, well, you have a right to be there. And when they talk about you, just remember you're just as good as anybody else. I was being told, you don't know anything, you're dumb, you're stupid, you never learn anything. And it made me determined to prove them wrong.
My children, they all graduated from Drew High School. And 7 of them attended and graduated from the University of Mississippi. And I think that was great.